Last year, Palm Beach County led the state in opioid-related overdose deaths with more than 600. Now, that is a sobering statistic. We're joined today by Barbara Shafer, who's the new Director of Education at the Hanley Foundation. She's here to talk about a new program for families of those who have died of an overdose, survived an overdose, or are at high risk of overdose. And boy, all these things are very important to talk about. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And we were saying during that piece that was airing a few moments ago, we were talking about this wasn't even a topic of conversation for most of us just a few years ago, but it has exploded. What happened?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that have gone into why it's gotten more serious of a situation, but I think also people are finally starting to talk about it, which is what needs to be done.
Absolutely.
It's breaking the silence. There's a stigma that's gone along with the opioid crisis and overdose and family members that are suffering that people just don't want to talk about it or don't want to get it out there. And the way to fix it and improve it and to try to find some answers is for people to start talking about it and see what we can do.
You're right. All right, so tell us about the Hanley Foundation's work.
Well, the Hanley Foundation has a multi-pronged approach to combating addiction. They do prevention, they do treatment, they do advocacy, and they also do education. What we found is the Hanley Foundation has provided $2.1 million in prevention education and services to the state of Florida over the past year, and they've reached more than 35,000 students, families, and caregivers, which is important to educate people that are out in the general public.
All right, there's a new forum series, pardon me, it's called Project C4OPE?
So it's COPE. But the acronym is Connecting for Overdose Prevention and Education. So that's where the 4 comes into play.
Connect for Overdose Prevention and Education.
Exactly.
All right, tell us about that program.
And what we'll be doing is the purpose of the series forum is to connect families that have either lost somebody to overdose, has had an overdose in the family and they have survived, or they're at high risk for overdose. So by connecting these people together, we're giving them a place to feel comfortable that they can let us know what their needs might be so that we can possibly put things together to help them through all the situations that they've been in.
Why do you think a program like this is relevant in our area?
Well, one of the reasons it's so relevant, as you mentioned earlier, is because of the amount of overdoses that are going on. Palm Beach County leads the state in overdoses, which they had more than 600 overdoses recorded in 2017, more than 5,000 reported in 2016. So the need's there, and there's also a nationwide problem. And what we've found from the Office of National Drug Control and Policy is that there are more overdose deaths on an annual basis than there are car accidents anymore. And the majority of people under age 50 that are dying is from an overdose.
Now, this forum series holds a special personal meaning to you. Why do you think it's so important to give families a place to connect maybe on this issue?
Well, as you mentioned, it's personal to me because I myself lost my daughter to heroin 3 years ago. So I know what it takes and what it's like to go through that and what support that people need to feel comfortable in a situation, to be able to speak at it, because there's still, unfortunately, a stigma attached to having heroin in your family or somebody that you know. So this will give people a safe place to get together, discuss what their needs are, and see if we can help them move forward with prevention.
It's great to have a program like that in place.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your daughter.
Thank you.
Condolences.
Thank you.
All right, Barbara Shafer from the Hanley Foundation, thank you so much for being here.